on? Ah, what happened? Where are you? Ah, there I am. Why does that happen sometimes? Why does that happen? Here, you go here. I know, I feel like I'm in a ducky mood today. Bop, 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 bop. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm being stupid. Welcome on! Hello, my lovely goblins and ghouls of the internet. I'm Hanyo, your demonic cinephile. And how you guys doing tonight? Well, I hope you weren't in a good mood because that's all about to be ruined. Because we are continuing Higurashi episode 3, Curse Killing. Now, we're pretty near the ending of the story. We might be able to finish the episode tonight, but not. We're gonna finish it on what's the day? What's the schedule I have planned out? We don't finish it today. We're going to definitely finish it on. Did I not pin my schedule? I guess I didn't. And we'll finish it on Thursday then. Yeah, let me do that real quick. There we go. Let's pin to the top of the schedule. Yeah, so we're probably, if you don't finish it in 2 hours, because I don't really want to go over 2 or 3 hours tonight. As I need to do in the I have some important biz in the morning. And I also had some other things I need to try to get done. Things I really want to do. But somebody keeps messing with my time. And I don't get them done. But also, I do want to get it done today because we need to finish this up. Because, next week, I probably won't stream it all next week. Just to get work done and to prepare for October. October is going to be such October is going to be such a fun month. It's going to be such a fun month because we're going to stream every day in October. I'm letting you know, we're going to stream every day. It's going to be something weird and fun. I have tons of games planned out. We're going to have movie nights. We're going to watch a bunch of classic films, public domain too. So we can watch them on Twitch without having the fear of copywriters attacking us. And I also have story times that I want to do with you guys. Now I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do story times, mostly because I'm not sure how to fit them into the schedule. But they're going to be not going to be like Higurashi or Umineko or Danganronpa. They're not going to be things that we other people wrote. They're going to be my own stories that I wrote a couple months ago, like near the beginning of the year. My own personal stories that I, myself, your Hanyo, created. I need to touch them up, finish them up just a bit, but I do want to share them with you guys. So, we're going to try to do that. I might do those streams on YouTube, or I might do a YouTube premiere on them, upload them on YouTube. I'm not sure. It depends if I have time to edit, which I never have time to edit. Because every time I try to sit down to get something done, somebody has to stop me! Not playing figures in particular, just, it's true, it happens. It's the nature of my life. It's the nature of the beast. Yeah, can you guys hear the Higurashi? Can you hear the Higurashi? You're being so cute and scary. It's not that bad. I'm starting to get used to them now. But they do make my neck really, really itchy though. Like insanely itchy. Like stupidly itchy. Like I can almost itch out my own throat if I just kept on digging. Now we're just babbling right now. We're just babbling. But yeah, let's jump into the story, shall we? Where's the scene? There we go. sure everything's up in place. PC face, alerts, chats. Alright. Higurashi when they cry. Wait, was there tips from before? I love the face jumps. Records of malice? No. Okay, so we can go back. Okay, right here. Alright, so last time we were here, guys, what happened? Keiichi lost his shit again. He broke into Satoko's house, couldn't find the uncle, found Satoko in boiling hot water that she was a bath she prepared and was in there for apparently the whole night, like so at least 7 hours. So I love a bath. I'm a bath person. I'm a weird guy who can spend like a long time in the bathtub. It's kind of a problem, being serious. But yeah, it wasn't good for a growing girl. But no, so Sadako might be having heat stroke. So Keiichi wrapped her up in a towel and is piggybacking her to the clinic. Alright. Let's get in. Yes. I probably should fill my cup with ice. I have a bunch of water in my mug, but it's from the other day. It's a good mug. It's not old water. It's not mildew water. I don't get sick, but it's kind of warm. Ooh, the music's loud. Or I think it's just me. That, filter I put on the audio should prevent it from getting too loud. If it sounds really loud to you guys, just let me know. The hilly road to the clinic, with which I have been... This started stream already messing up words. The hilly road to the clinic, with which I had never given... How are you saying given? There's no... The hilly road to the clinic, with which I had never had difficulties before, was now torturous. Big beads of sweat formed on my brow, and at some point my breath had grown faint. The hatchet in my belt was heavy, and made it hard to walk. I considered leaving it, but I couldn't let it go. At least not while Satoko's uncle was still breathing. The signboard of the Erie Clinic came into sight. Oh, is this a new background? I don't think I've ever seen this before. That's nice. I think it's simple. It's like simple, but it's cool. I like it when we get a new background. But I quickly noticed something was odd, so I stopped. Several red revolving lights were flashing at the clinic. 3 police cars were parked in the parking lot, with their lights on. There didn't need to be much else to inform me something had happened. I didn't want to see Coach, so I had planned to leave Satoko in the clinic waiting room and give the receptionist a message. But with the police officer Oshi here, I couldn't go inside so carelessly. No! Sadako! I... Is that bruise on her face too, or that's just shadows? The shadows. And my screen's a bit dirty. But no, why?
パトカーがいっぱいいますですわよ。
I gently put Sadako down in the shade of the thicket.
わからない。様子を見てくるから、しばらくここにいろ。
レディをバスタオル1枚でこんなとこに置いてくなんてなってませんわね。
I'm sorry, Lady Sadako.
それだけ悪態がつけりゃ大丈夫だ。
Yeah, she's starting to get a little bit better. I'll be right back, I added, getting to my feet. Cautious of my surroundings, I hid myself behind a car and got closer to the officers grouped at the clinic's entrance. I overheard an officer wearing a necktie, probably their leader, and a white-robed doctor having a discussion about something. The doctor didn't seem to be Coach. It was one of those who Coach told to make the tea yesterday.
じゃあつまり最初に見つけたのは朝当番のあなただったと。それで
So then?
どんな感じだったんです？
事務室の所長席のソファーに座って居眠りをしているように見えました。
で、机の上に水差しと空き瓶になった睡眠薬があったんで、あなたはすぐに睡眠薬で自殺したと考えたと。それで
高熱と瞳孔の拡大に重度の意識障害も見られました。睡眠薬中毒の典型的な重症例だと思いましたので、直ちに
警察も救急も呼ばずに
They're at a hospital. They're already at a clinic.
ここは病院で私は医師ですよ。
Yeah.
生命が危険な状態にあるなら、直ちに治療して当然です。
What kind of police work is that? Oh, I thought he was sick, so I tried to help him. You didn't try to call us? Or an ambulance? Sir, this is a hospital already. What else would you expect me to do?
ああ、まあいいから。それで
呼吸が不正常だったので、人工呼吸を施しました。合わせて呼吸刺激薬を投与。
Okay.
効果が出なかったので、人工呼吸器の準備をし、
ああ、はい。それでつまり、いろいろ頑張ったけど、結局ダメだったと。
Don't you want to hear the full story?
そういうわけですよね。通報は死んでから直ちに。
はい。救うことができず、とても残念です。
Just then, a radio in one of the police cars started to buzz, producing a broken mechanical voice.
こちら本部。小宮山さん、聞こえますか？どうぞ。
That's not broken.
もしもし、小宮山です。ああ、お疲れ様です。睡眠薬での自殺みたいですね。遺書の類はなし。
What? The heck were they talking about? Someone had committed that at the clinic? But who? I wished Tanako-san dead, and she died the next day. And yesterday, I wished Coach was dead. Then, could he have...
普段から睡眠薬を常用していたとかは
あまり知りません。
日頃疲れたとか死にたいとかそんなこと言ってました？
入江先生は普段からああいう性格でしたから。
Yeah, he's such a happy guy. You don't think those kind of things.
とてもそんな風には。
So, I was right. Eri Sensei. They're talking about Coach. Coach ended himself. Why would he do that? There couldn't have been any reason he wanted to die. The only reason that came to mind was that I wanted him dead. This world was insane. If I want someone dead, they die. That was the kind of world this was? Then, what about Oshi? What happened to him? If people really died because I wanted them to, then something should have happened to him too.
そちらに応援が向かいました。課長からそちらは応援に任せて大石社の捜索に戻るとのことです。
Searching for Oshi. Wait, Oshi's missing?
了解しました。じゃあすいません。こっちに今応援が来てるそうですから、現場はこのままにしておいてください。おい、行くぞ。
The officers nodded and split up into the patrol cars. Did they just say, searching for Oshi's car? Searching for his car? If that meant he had gone missing? Tanako-san, Coach, and Oshi. When I wished for it, the very next day, they disappeared. No matter how angry you were when you said you wish someone was dead, it didn't normally happen. Everyone knew just wishing for it wouldn't make them dead, and that's why people could utter such curses so lightly. But the curses I uttered were being granted. At the time, I hadn't even been walking, and yet... I heard a footstep. And it wasn't only one this time. They came from behind. And they stood right behind me, reaching a hand for my shoulder. Oh.
一体何事なんですの？
Okay, not gonna lie. That actually got me. Not just that jump scare, but how perfectly that was written. I was like, I'm getting sucked into it. I feel a little bit claustrophobic, and then I just feel like there's someone behind me right now. Then Satoko had to do all that. Darn you, Satoko.
サトコか。
That's what I felt like.
脅かすなよ。
Yes, girl.
驚いたのはこっちでしてよ。
She's looking annoyed again.
いきなり大声を出さないでくださいまし。
It was Satoko. Her eyes were still unstable, unfocused, but she seemed able to at least walk on her own now. She looked far better now compared to her earlier exhausted state.
具合はどうなんだ？もう大丈夫なのか？
まだ頭が痛いですけど、
Aww.
いつまでもこんな格好で表にいられませんもの。
Give her some Excedrin. She gave a smile, a show of courage, but her legs were still shaking.
それより、これは一体何事なんですの？今、警察が話してるのを聞いてた限りじゃ。
監督が
Coach.
自殺したらしい。
Why didn't you just lie to her? Sadako was at loss for words. Her face grew paler and paler, and I could tell she was doubting her own ears.
ケイチさん、それ、本当ですの？何かの聞き間違いじゃないんですの？
確かにそう聞いたよ。入江先生が睡眠薬で自殺したって。
Sadako went down on her knees, broke out into tears.
嘘ですわ。
Coach,
監督が
he
自殺なんて、
never.
そんなの絶対に。
As I watched Satoko crying and clawing at the grass, I felt myself trapped by guilt and remorse. I got so angry that Coach was treating me like a madman yesterday, that he betrayed me, that I thought he'd be better off dead. But even Coach, who, to me, deserved to die, still must have had people who loved and respected him. Like Satoko here. In my selfish, egotistical anger, I wished for his death, and it was granted. And now Satoko is crying hysterically as a result. The guilt tore at my heart. I worked myself to the murder for Satoko's sake. I decided I wanted Satoko to be happy. But was that really all it took? Murder meant taking someone's life. It meant making everyone attached to that person sad. In Satoko's uncle's case, of course, nobody would be sad. So I didn't feel a sense of guilt at all. But Coach's death was different. I had wanted to make Satoko happy, and that had resulted in me inflicting a deep sadness upon her, hadn't it? But Coach ended himself. It wasn't my... No, give her a hug. Satoko still hadn't stopped crying, but she seemed to be a little calmer now. Wiping her tears, she stood up.
すまない。
I'm sorry. And the only thing I could think of to say to her was an apology.
どうして謝りますの？
俺、
Well,
昨日
yesterday,
その
I got into a
喧
fight
嘩
with
して
Coach,
お前なんか
and I thought
死んじまえって呪ったんだ。
that I wanted him to die.
呪ったから
I wanted it
本当に死んじゃって。
so he really... Satoko looked at me dubiously for a few moments. Eventually, her expression softened as she interpreted my words in her own way.
圭一さんのせいではありませんわ。監督も大人ですもの。自分の命を捨てるに値する都合があって悩んだ末に選んだんですもの。
Not sure. Okay.
誰のせいでもありませんわ。
It's not anyone's fault. Yeah, it's true. No one's fault. She smiled a little, trying to comfort me.
いつまでもこのままでいたくありませんわ。
Yeah, get her some clothes.
服が欲しい。
いいのかよ。診療所に行って見てもらった方が。
服を着てから見てもらっても別に死にはしませんわ。
Sako readjusted her bath towel and started back along the path. Her stride was wobbled, but it didn't look like she recovered as much as she led on. At first, Satoko tried to go back home, but it was the time of the morning when people were going to school and to work. So after seeing people walking around, she thought better of it. She must have been pretty embarrassed, only wearing the towel.
理科のうちに行きますわよ。私の服あるはずですから。どうしたんですの？圭一さん。
Sako noticed how I was hanging my head and spoke to me.
監督はああ見えても大人ですのよ。
Yeah.
圭一さんと喧嘩したくらいで自殺するような人ではありませんわ。
Aww.
自分を責めるのをおやしなさいませ。
Not your fault, Keiichi. You're not the curse. First I thought it was a coincidence. But with 3 people now, I couldn't discard the possibility. There is no such thing as impossible in this world.
この数日
These past few days
おかしいんだ。
haven't made any sense.
何がですの？
It hasn't. Sako seemed to be having trouble breathing, but she still tried to listen to what I had to say.
おとといの綿流しのお祭り、お前は途中で帰ったから行かなかったんだよな。
Don't talk about this.
そして俺は祭りに行ってみんなと遊んだ。
らしいですわね。あの時は取り乱して申し訳ありませんでしたわね。
Sako remembered how she blew up at me in the classroom yesterday and bowed to me a little.
実は俺祭りに行っていないって言ったら信じるか？
Satoko looked at me, confused. She couldn't help it, of course.
信じられるわけありませんわ。何を今さら。
信じられないだろう。信じられないのは俺もだって。俺は
I didn't go to the festival.
俺が祭りに現れてみんなと遊んだっていうんだ。
Everyone's saying I hung out with them there.
こんなの信じられるわけないだろ。
Nobody would believe it, right?
それ本気ですの？
あ
Yeah.
あの
Ever.
私の夜から
Ever since the night of Watanagashi, everything's been messed up.
いつの間にか
These weird footsteps suddenly started
ペタペタと
following me everywhere. The blood drained from Satoko's expression.
足音がペタペタ。
Yeah, it's weird.
そうなんだ。最初は気のせいだと
Thought it
思っ
was
てた
just
けど
my imagination at first,
ずっとついてくるんだ。
but they stayed with me.
多分今もついてきて
They're
る。
probably still there.
サトコの足音と混じっ
Can't
て
tell them apart now
よ
because
く
of
聞き分けられないけれど
your footsteps, though. Sako took a long and hard look at me. Maybe she was doubting my sanity. Coach did the same thing. I mean, why wouldn't he, after telling him this? The more I thought about it, the more I was unable to endure the feeling that my hatred for Coach had been meaningless.
綿流しの日
Oh no. Don't tell her, boy. Don't tell her.
俺は祭りに行かず
At the night of
あることをし
Watanagashi,
ていたんだ。
I didn't go. I was doing something else
ずっとだぞ。
the whole time,
眠ったり意識がな
I
くなった
wasn't
りすることは
sleeping
なかった。
or unconscious or anything.
だから寝ぼけ気分でフラフ
So
ラと
it's not
記
possible
憶になく
that I
祭りに出か
walked
け
to the
たなんてこと
festival
はありえない
half asleep and forgot about it afterwards.
それはおかしいですわね。ならどうやってお祭りで遊んだんですの？
Our friends were covering for us. Or for me. For him.
だから
That's what I mean.
俺は祭りには行ってないんだよ
I didn't go to the festival. No. I can't let myself get emotional. If I get agitated now, that'd be like proving that there's something wrong with my head.
ごめんみんなが信じてくれないんでつい
圭一さんがそう言うなら信じてあげますわ。それで
あの夜高野さんに
Oh
会ったんだ
no. That night, I saw Tanako-san,
それで
and it felt like she was looking down on me.
俺は
So,
心の中で念じた
I
んだ
made a wish.
お前なんか信
A
じない
wish that she would die.
高野さんってどことなくそういう雰囲気がございますものね。
Oh, you have no idea. You two would just so get along and in another life. Or another universe. Another timeline. Another plane of existence. I don't know.
その気持ちわからなくもありませんでしたよ。
高野さんが死んだの知ってるか？
Did you know that Tanako-san died?
昨日の話だ。どこかで焼け死んだらしい。
それ本当ですの？
That was her expression doesn't change. She's like, oh, Tanako-san's dead? Oh, things happen.
死んだんですの？
俺が死ねと願うと。それから警察の大石ってやつも
He's
知っ
missing.
てるか？ムカつく太った刑事みたいなやつ。
Do you know him? That annoying and fat detective guy? Sako nodded a little.
さっき警察が話してるのを聞いたんだが、どうもあ
But
いつ
apparently he went
行方
missing.
不明になってるらしい。実は昨日あいつにも
And
死んじまえって
yesterday,
念じてたんだ。
actually, I wished that he would die.
それ本当の話ですの？
嘘じゃない。
I'm not lying.
俺だって信じたくないけ
I
ど
don't want to believe it either.
本当の話なんだ。
But it's true.
高野さんも
Tanaka-san,
監督も大石も
Coach, and
俺
Oishi,
が死ねと念じ
I
てた。
wanted them dead.
本当に死んで
And
しまっ
then
たんだ。
they really died. For a little while, Satoko was at a loss. A long silence ensued. You okay there, Satoko?
それは怖い話ですわね。圭一さんにせめて嫌われないように気をつけませんと。
それだけじゃない。
Don't tell her.
もっとおかしいこともあるんだ。
Don't tell her.
それはお前のおじなんだ。
Don't tell her.
おじさまの話はやめてくださいましな。
Ooh, she said that with a quickness.
昨日いたんだろう。お前の家に。
あの人の話はやめてくださいます。嫌なんですの。
ありえないんだ。あいつがいるわけがないん
Keiichi,
だ。
Keiichi, I know you're freaking out. I know you're questioning your own sanity, but just listen to her. She says she doesn't want to talk about it.
やめてって言ってますのよ。
あの男が綿流しの夜以降いるわけがないんだ。
No,
だって
no, bad move, bad move, bad move, bad move. This is a bad move. Do not move this piece, Keiichi. Do not move this piece.
あの男のことはもう嫌なんですの。
俺が殺したんだ。
Well, this is out in the open. That was a smart move, though.
この手で
With my own hands, I killed him. Even the cicadas stopped crying. Her face was stricken with tears. It stiffened even more as she looked at me in disbelief.
俺が綿流しの祭りの夜
On the
に
night of the Watanagashi
お前の
festival,
おじを殺したんだ。
I killed your uncle.
だから
So,
お前の家に
it's
帰ってくる
impossible
なん
that
て
he
こ
could
と
have
は
gone back home.
ありえないんだ。
But still, he went back. And last night he found fault with the dinner you made him. He yelled all sorts of things at you, and then basically boiled you in a bathtub. That couldn't possibly have happened.
だから俺はあの
So
男を
I
確かに殺し
I
たと
want to
いう
make
証拠
sure
を確かめるた
I
めに
actually killed him.
埋め出したよ昨
So
日
yesterday,
掘り返し
I
たん
went
だ。
to dig up the corpse I buried.
だが
But the
そこ
body
には死体はなか
wasn't
った。
there.
こんなことがあり得ると思うか？
Is that even possible?
確かに殺したのに
I killed him for sure, but there was no body.
そして
And he went home
なかったかのように
like
帰宅
nothing happened.
お前の前に
Home to you. And
こんなことが
how
あっていいは
that wasn't
ずない
supposed to happen, wasn't it? Sako's entire body stiffened. She was shrieking away, like there was someone in front of her, about to hurt her. Yes, I wonder why she feels like she's about to get hurt. Why she feels a bit threatened, Keiichi. She may not like her uncle, but you confessing to the murder like this isn't helping.
お前も
You probably
俺のこと
think I've
俺
gone
が変になったって思ってるんだろうな。
a little crazy, don't you?
無理もないさ。
Hey, I don't blame you.
俺だって
I can't believe in
信じら
myself.
れない。
圭一さんはきっと偶然呪った人が死んでしまったんで混乱してるだけに違いありませんわ。監督の自殺にショックを受けて気が動転してるだけなんですのよ。
You're just as shocked at Coach Suit. Just don't read that word. Don't read that word.
今日はもう学校休んでお家で休んだ方がよろしいと思いますわ。
You know what? That actually sounds good. Let's get some rest. Keiichi, you and Sadako go home and get some rest.
私はもう平気ですから、どうかご自分の体を大事になさいまし。
Sadako spoke like she understood me, but she also told me to go home. I could see the revulsion in her face, and she knew that she didn't want to be around me anymore.
サトコをちゃんと診療所まで見送ったら俺も帰る。サトコだってまだ足元がフラフラじゃないか。途中で倒れたら大変だぞ。
Yeah, I gotta make sure you're okay.
私はもう本当に大丈夫なんですのよ。
You're not fine.
男の人にいつまでもこんな姿を晒していたくないんですのよ。
I do not want to keep exposing myself to a man any more than this. Sadako? Are you okay? She wobbled up the shrine steps, looking like she was about to fall. I immediately ran up to her and helped her stay on her feet. But then Sadako promptly jumped away from me. That outright rejection hurt me a lot. Once she got to the top of the stairs, her breathing was ragged, and she wasn't even looking at me. At this point, I was being ignored. Well, it was more like she didn't want to have anything to do with me. It really was a feeling of rejection. And that hurt my heart more than any blade could have. This was the path I chose for her sake. To be treated like this at the end of it all, it was just so saddening. Don't be naive, Keiichi Marabara. You never wanted to be repaid in the first place. You didn't do it so Sadako would thank you. You did it so Sadako would be happy. And that was what led to this ending. Rika-chan's house was a disaster prevention storehouse used by the town council. If you were past it a little further through the shrine grounds, you will apparently reach the back of the assembly hall. Sadako was heading there, walking quickly, the gravel under her feet crunching as she went. Oh, ow, 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 ow! I just realized she's not wearing shoes and she's walking on gravel. Ah. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts me. Am I loud? I feel like I'm peeking the mic. Smoosh that down a bit. More smudge. One more smudge. Okay. I'm looking at the bar and I'm gonna keep going into yellow. I know yellow's not that loud, but I don't want to kill you guys. I need to switch the microphone back too. There we go. That's good. That's better. Better. Okay. God, it's painful. Ugh, the thinking about the. Ugh. Did she want to get there as soon as possible, or did she want to run away? I couldn't tell. It's both, boy. It's both. And then I heard the vigorous sound of wings flapping. Oh, fuck. Here it comes. Oh, fuck. I turned around and saw a crow. I hadn't seen many crows since coming to Hinamizawa. Saw them a lot in my old town, though. On the garbage day, they flocked to trash collectors' points, trash collection points, peck through the bag with their beaks, drag out the contents, and have a feast. As I was remembering that, now here it comes. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Okay, I need to stop for 1 quick second. I had to stop right here because it's gonna be saying the most fucked part. The most fucked part of this episode's about to happen. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a minute. What the heck? Behind the scenes? No, none of that. None of that. Oh, what the heck? I leave for 1 moment and I get a huge raid. Okay, oh my god. Hi. This is such a big number. Hello everybody. Hello. I am Hanyo, a demonic cinephile. We're reading Higurashi tonight. Thank you all for popping up. I don't know what to say. The stinkies can approach. Yes, they can approach. I accept all stinky cats. All the stinky cats. Which is just funny because we're about to see a kitty right soon on the screen. It's such a horrible sight. This is a cute cat. But yeah, thank you all for showing up. We're reading Higurashi. Fun note though for anyone who does not like horror. It's about to get a little bit intense in a couple of minutes, so stick around. As I was remembering that, I saw I'm Ron. Oh, hello, Ron. How are you doing? How are you tonight? As I was remembering that, I saw a few crows flocking around the shrine's donation box. And I thought, how terrible it was for someone to leave a garbage bag in a place like that. You watched the Higurashi anime back in the day? Yeah. I watched the show during lockdowns. That's when I finally watched it after hearing about it for years. And the moment I did that, I became obsessed. It was so good. It was so good. Then I read the mangas, and now we're reading this. I really love Higurashi. Like, not only did it just got me back into like this huge rabbit hole of content, but it was like a big inspiration for getting me to start to write again. Like, I have like a couple stories I have planned out. They're all were inspired by When They Cry. And we're gonna also be reading Umineko next month too. I want to finish Higurashi before we move into Umineko, but it's October and I feel obligated to start Umineko. The cicadas quieted. Breathing stopped. Thoughts ceased. Every time came to a halt. I ran over to where the crows were flocking. I ran there in order to drive a horrible idea out of my mind. I definitely hadn't wanted this. There's no way I would ever wish for this by mistake. This was not. No! When they noticed my vicious approach, the crows all flapped upwards, fleeing into the sky. When the crows' big black bodies flew away, they exposed the garbage bag. Oh! Rika! Huh. I'm not sure what's more scary. The bleeding from her eyes, or the dead eyes they gave her in the anime. Because the dead eyes are horrifying, but the blood here, it's implying that the crows were pecking at her eyeballs. It's like, ugh! What had I seen there? The scream that had escaped from my throat before I understood what I was looking at. What was this? Sadako came over as well, realizing something had happened, and she looked over my shoulder. Then she screamed as well. This wasn't. The garbage bag was crimson, dyed in fresh blood. Enough of this stupid roundabout way of saying it. That's right. Yes. It was Rika-chan. Our friend. Satoko's best friend. Always easygoing, clever as a cat, but so cute you couldn't hate her. Our friend Rika-chan. She was... Rika-chan was stark naked. She was face up, limbs sprawled. Her eyes were like glass, just staring up into the sky. And Rika. Oh, Satoko. Satoko, look away. Satoko broke down, crying on the spot. And yet, she still couldn't approach her friend's remains. The crows had gotten through the garbage bag and dragged, well, they dragged out an apple peel. Spread it all. Ugh. No, the crows, they couldn't do this. Here you go. Yep, get it all out, buddy. Get it all out. On the spot, I started vomiting. The sour taste became a bitter one as I threw up over and over again. Rika-chan, her stomach was cut wide open, vertically, completely open. Crows could have done this. And from her open stomach, her organs, her bowels were dragged out like children's toys left all over the floor. That unbelievable sight included oxygen diversion from my brain. Color left my vision, a pounding headache, dizzy, and I wanted to vomit. It was like the nightmarish remains of a ceremonial killing. Someone, somewhere, had killed Rika-chan, brought her here, laid her with her limbs sprawled out, and then cut open her stomach and dragged out her intestines. Red and pink breasts were sticking out of her guts, and her intestines were scattered in every direction, like it had been for fun. The entire ground was covered in an ocean of red and black, and a few of the crows hopped around inside that ocean, and they walked through the sea of blood, leaving bloody footprints. And those footprints, there were several still left on Rika-chan's body. Those sensor prints made it seem like more like a bizarre ritual killing. I may have wished for Tanako-san and Coach and Oshi to die, but I didn't ever remember wishing for Rika-chan's death.
そうさ
Yeah,
俺じゃない
it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I stumbled backwards and stepped on a newspaper. A newspaper? In a place like this? The newspaper was what was covering my hatchet. I had kept it wrapped up on my belt in order to carry Satoko. Oh no, here it comes. And that newspaper had fallen off. Sheesh. Don't scare me like that. I bent down to pick it up, and then Satoko looked at me with such disbelief as I'd never seen, and froze. She was looking straight at me, at the hatchet on my belt. It's Satoko. It's
落ち着け
it's
サトコ
it's not what it looks like.
これは違うぞ
I had this with me from before. Satoko, trembling madly, backed away.
俺じゃない
It wasn't me.
俺じゃないんだ
It wasn't me.
俺じゃ
It wasn't.
人殺し
She didn't care at all what she was all that was she exposing herself through the towel. Wait, I thought she changed her clothes already. She just trembled and tried to step back from the demon in front of her.
サトコ落ち着いてくれ
I think we are beyond the point of calm.
サト
Screaming weakly, Satoko began to run unsteadily. Run away, that is.
待ってくれサトコ
Don't chase her.
違うんだ
Don't chase
違
her.
うんだ
It's not gonna end well. The way she ran away, it was so weak. So slow. So if I wanted to go after her, I could have caught up to her. But if I tried to grab Satoko's shoulder or something now, she might actually go crazy. I had to follow her and try to clear this up.
高野さんを殺して
I thought about
監
it.
督を殺して
It was the pills.
大石さんも殺したんでございましょう
And Oshi was the worst in this chapter. He deserved it.
おじさまを殺そうとしてリカまで
Your uncle deserved it. Enrica, it was watching Nagashi. She was watching
違
Nagashi.
う俺じゃない俺は殺してなん
I
かいない
didn't kill her.
何を言ってるんですのあなたさっき自分で言ったじゃありませんの
No, we didn't.
死ねって死んでしまえって
Yeah, it was the curse, not us.
それでみんな死んでしまったんでしょ
俺はその 死ねって思っただけで別に。
Okay, she's not a witch. She can't do that.
自分で何をしたか記憶に残っていないんでございましょう。そんな人の話なんか信用できるわけありませんわ。人を殺した時の記憶が欠落してるだけなんじゃありませんの。記憶がないふりをしてるだけなんじゃありませんの。そのナタは何なんですのよ。
It was a present for your uncle.
説明してごらんなさいな。
I just did. It's for your uncle.
これは
ほらほらほら、ケイチさんは殺人鬼じゃありませんの。どうしてですの。ちょっと意地悪だったけど楽しくて優しい、一度は本当のニーニーかもしれないとまで思ったの。
No.
どうしてそんな風になってしまったんですの。
We all. It was to help you. It was to help you. And I've been able to slowly answer each one of Satoko's questions at a time. But in this situation, displaying my innocence in such a short period of time was impossible. I mean, I didn't even know if I was really innocent anyway. At the very least, I killed Satoko's uncle. There was no body, but I killed him, without a doubt. At that point, I was far from innocent. And I wish Tanako-san, Coach, and Oshi were dead, and that curse of mine was granted. When I wished for Tanako-san to die, I didn't think of it as anything more than a normal thing you would say to someone you didn't like. But then she actually did die, and I realized that if I wanted people to die, they would. And hoping it would happen again, I cursed Coach and Oshi to the same fate. So, even ignoring Tanako-san's death, Coach and Oshi were completely premeditated crimes. I was the killer, just like Satoko said. I was unable to distinguish between illusion and reality, and turned into a demon without remembering it, becoming a killer who carried out Orishio-sama's curse. No, that couldn't be. It was impossible. Ah, damn it! That very word, impossible, was in Hinamizawa right now. How many freaking times have I said that word these past 3 days? Sadako had started crying again and was walking unsteadily. At first, it felt like she was still running, but now, it was like she was walking away, crying for someone bullying her.
どうしてこんなことになってしまったんですの。どうして。
If there was an answer to that, then I want to know it too. Why? Why had it turned out like this?
ニーニーがいなくなってずっと寂しかったけど、ケイチさんが転校してきてくれて、またみんな明るくなって、楽しくなって、毎日が光ってたのに。
Oh, can I just jump through the screen and give her a hug? I love Sadako. She deserves happiness. Yeah, she was right. Those days were bright and beautiful. And yet, after that, Sadako and I shouted the exact same thing.
どうして。
How did it turn out like this? The cicadas were sneering at the spectacle of our strange game of tag. Ah! Shut up! Stupid bugs! Just won't leave! Eventually, I heard the murmuring of a stream. The forest plate parted, and a suspension bridge appeared. Oh no. Satoko was crossing dangerously, wobbling as though she might fall at any moment. And when I stepped onto the bridge, it swayed a lot, causing Satoko to stagger and fall on the spot.
大丈夫か。
You're right, but only the one person. Sako shouted, her hatred made very clear. It was sad. If words could cut, and this warmth flowing from my eyes would have been blood for sure.
どうしてこうなってしまったんですの？ケイチさんのこと大好きだったのに。
Yes, small. Yes, poor. She's our little sister. Kinda. Be nice to Satoko. I wanted to go up to her and give her a hand, but the distance between us was uncrossable. If I got any closer, Satoko would start shouting again. The shy Shota. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. I cannot give you anything in return except for my cringy voice acting. So please enjoy. Or roast me for it. I appreciate both. And say things that would hurt me deeply. Again. So, I couldn't approach any closer than this. I suck at it too. Hey, we can all suck together.
サトコ、俺にもなんでこうなったかわからないんだ。
I know the truth. It's gonna destroy your brain though.
でもこれだけは言える。リカちゃんを殺したのは俺じゃないんだ。それだけは絶対に。
You gotta prove it though.
いい加減なこと言わないでほしいですわ。
Ooh.
自分の記憶にも自信が持てない人が何を言ったってどう信じればいいって言うんですの？
Yeah, she does have a point. I tightened my hands into a fist. This was mortifying. I wasn't crazy. Hinamizawa was crazy. Ever since I wandered into it, lost on that night. This insane world where I was at the festival when I wasn't, and the uncle I killed was alive. Where death would come just by wishing for it. It was this world's fault. Neon and Rena started acting strangely, like they were possessed by something too. And Coach wouldn't believe anything I had to say. And then Satoko, who I had protected, was yelling at me like this. Was the price for killing a man supposed to be this high? Was I really going to be forced to stay in such a bitter world? I did the right thing. At least, I wanted to. So then, why? I hated it. Every time I asked why, the days Satoko and I enjoyed in peace went so wrong.
サトコ、信じてくれ。俺は人殺しじゃない。
Don't lie, it was the one person.
ではそのナタは何なんですの？納得のいく説明はできまして。
I said it was a present for your
こ
uncle.
のナタが怖いのか。じゃあ捨てるよ。それなら安心だろ。
Sako did nod, but she seemed to be in agreement with that proposition. I clumsily took the hatchet out of my belt, then dropped it over the side of the bridge into the stream below.
捨てたぞ。これで話を聞いてくれるな。
武器を捨てたぐらいで気を許すと思いまして。圭一さんほどの方なら私を素手で絞め殺すなんて簡単でしょうに。
Yeah. I'm about to say she's pretty strong for her size, but she's also really weak right now. Like hell I would ever want to kill Satoko. You idiot.
じゃあどうしたらいい？ 両手を頭の上で組んだらいいか？
そうですわね。
Why don't you?
両手を頭の上で組んで後ろを向いてくださいます。
It was a cunning plan, much like the one she used during club activities. Putting my hands on my head and turning away would mean I couldn't attack Satoko very easily. I immediately acquiesced to her request, since it would make her feel better.
これでいいか？
Is this alright?
俺の話を聞いてくれ。
Please, listen to what I have to say. Satoko stood up, then carefully approached me from behind. And then, she actually came up right behind me. She was so close, and yet I was so sad that I wasn't allowed to turn around.
圭一さんが悪くないのはなんとなくうすうす分かっていましたわ。
Huh?
多分
Oh no.
何か悪いものに乗り移られただけなんで
The
す。
bells from Rico's hoe. That's about it. Whenever that pops up, whenever the bells pop up, something bad's about to happen.
さっきまでは圭一さんが殺人鬼なんだと思ってたけど、
But now I know,
あなたの目を見ていたら
after looking at your eyes, I could hear that Sadako was still crying, but her voice was gentle, just the same.
圭一さんが人殺しなんかするわけがない。
Yeah.
圭一さんの体を何か悪いものが乗っ取って悪事に駆り立てただけ。
Well, you're half right. She was speaking literally right now. Or was she trying to admonish me? I couldn't tell.
思えばひょっとすると
Maybe.
あの人たちも
Maybe they
圭一さんと
were
同じもの
possessed,
に乗り
just
移られ
like
ていたのかもしれない。
Keiichi-san.
あの時は
The
殺される
time
としか思わな
I
か
was
った
only
から
thinking I would be killed,
そこまでは考え
so I
も及
didn't
ばな
think
かった
about
け
it.
ど、今ならわか
But
る。
now I understand.
あれは
That
乗り移っ
was
た
the work of
何
something
か悪いもの
evil
の仕業だった。
that possessed you.
サトコ？何の
What are you?
話だ？
It was less like she was talking to me, and more like she was talking to herself. Like she was confessing at my back.
わかってるんですの。私、身に覚えがないわけじゃないんですのよ。
Oh. Foreshadowing. Sato's voice started to become mixed with sobs. Her pained voice tore at my heart. But I didn't know what Satoko was talking about.
西宮殿の屋根によじ登ったことがありますの。
Oh.
何年も前のことですわ。
You know, flashback? In your CG? Ah, no. It's still a nice image, though. Once, when Sadako was playing hide and seek at the shrine grounds, she climbed onto the roof of the storehouse for ritual implements, which everyone said not to go near, and hid. Then, Satoko saw that she could get in through a window meant for ventilation. For Satoko, the word curse was plenty scary. But she was more curious about what was inside the unknown storehouse. She removed the grating of the window, which was already hanging off, slid her small body into it, and climbed down inside. It was too dark to see much, but after descending, she realized just how high up she'd been. Despite the darkness, she could see a few things around her thanks to a faint light coming in from the air window. To her disappointment, it was just a regular old storehouse. She tried to leave, but the door was locked up tight from the outside, and it was made not to open up from within. She would have to go back out through the ventilation window she'd come in from. But the window was high up on the wall. There was no way she could be able to climb up. Satoko desperately tried not to cry, and racked her brain thinking out a way to get up there. There were a lot of bird-cage-looking things hanging by the chains from the ceiling. She took the hanging chains and strung them along the wall. She climbed up the bundles of chains. She might be able to manage to climb up to the ventilation window. To the ventilation window. I need a drink. 1 second. I think it's been like almost good solid 20 minutes. But it has it. Oh, it's a little loud. Stupid cup squeaking. Yeah, put it down. Down here. There we go. There was something else she could do, so she had to try. And try she did. It was dark and creepy, and she didn't want to stay there forever. The more she thought about it, the more she panicked. She climbed the bundle of chains. Satoko could hear the clinks and clangs of everything creaking under her weight. And then, just as her hand reached the window, one of the metal fixtures she used to stick the chains on the wall flew off, and the chains all began to fall loudly, furiously, every which way. Spurred on by the sounds behind her, she managed to get back onto the roof from the window. Because of the weight of the falling bundles of chains, the other fixtures broke. And then one of the big bird cages, hanging from the ceiling, fell to the floor with a huge noise. Under it was an image of Oyashiro-sama. His vessel in the cage took off one of the arms, then trapped some other implements beneath it. It didn't take very long for her to grow scared of what she'd done. The defining noise could be heard from the rest of the shrine grounds. A few other children heard it and gathered around, and of course, Rika was one of them. Then, Rika's father, the shrine's priest, with an angry look, ran over. And then, as for what happened next, it was painful to remember. The only one who knew where Rika's parents kept the key to the ritual storehouse was Rika. So he scolded her, saying that this happened because Rika pulled a prank and hid me in there. He was very angry and menacing. Just looking at him was enough to frighten anyone. He exposed Rika's back, took a strangely shaped ritual cane or something, and struck her with it several times. Rika's words at the time, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." That pitiful voice. I still can't get it out of my head. I should have said it was me. I should have said so, to save my best friend from the fatal accusation, without being afraid of Rika's father's terrible temper. Rika gritted her teeth and cried at the crime she didn't remember doing. Ever since then, the world had been strange. Oh, he did that in front of the other kids. Alright, fuck. Sorry, in the anime version, I can't remember the manga, they made it seem like he did that behind closed doors, but I don't know, the fact that he did it in front of the other children is just another level of ick. I know. I understand. Oyashiro-sama's curse. His judgment for messing up the ritual storehouse and forsaking my best friend. Oyashiro-sama's curse. My father and mother too. They vanished in the muddy stream. My mean aunt died too. But then, Mimi, who loved me more than anyone, ran away from home. And then, Keiichi-san transferred in. And I thought I'd finally gotten my fun life back. But this time, Keiichi-san was possessed. And even Rika-chan got killed.
お社様
There's something
本当にたたりをなすときは
I heard
もう
once.
すぐに殺さないんだって
Oyashiro-sama, when he really curses someone, he doesn't just kill them right away.
親し
He
い人
goes
か
in
ら
order
順に殺
of
して
your closest friends.
みんな殺してから
And after killing
最
them
後に
all,
殺すんだってだ
kills that person last.
から
So,
ケイキさん
Kei-san,
たたりにやられて
the curse got you too.
きっと今度はレナさんやミオンさんがたたら
Rina-san,
れてしまうんですわ
Mia-san will be cursed next.
そして殺したり殺されたり
They'll kill and be killed.
もう嫌
No more. Why you keep making her scream?
落ち着けよサトコ。たたりなんかない。
Yeah, you're about half true.
誰もお前をいじめたりなんかしないって。
Oh. When I turned around, I was thrust away with an amazing force. Given my hands were awkwardly placed on my head, I couldn't take the fall and lost my balance. I had been pushed not into the bridge, but to the side. Towards the stream. No. This can't be happening. As one last miracle, I was allowed to grab a cord hanging from the bridge. Far below me was the stream. We were pretty high up, and below were rocks of all sizes. If I fell, it wouldn't be pretty. The entire bridge was tilting under my body weight. My frail little grip probably wouldn't last another minute before my fingers had to let go.
サトコ。
Satoko! I didn't understand myself. What I meant by shouting her name then. Was I asking her to save me? Or was I asking her why she did this? Finally, everything came back into focus. And I saw Satoko. And I was surprised at what an odd expression she had. It was the first time I seen it. It was an expression of righteous anger, meant only for those who needed it to die. Oh! Okay! The artist went pretty hard in this image. Give him back!
ニーニーを返して
Give me back my Nini!
リカやお母さんをケイチさんを返してよ
Satoko, sorry to say this, but I don't think your mom really cared about you. Alright, that last one was kind of funny. It just sounded like a silent wail. As she screamed, she jerked the bridge to and fro. She didn't have to do that. I was gonna to fall anyway.
私はお前なんかには負け
I
ないんです
won't
のよ
lose the likes of you.
たたりなんかに
I
負け
won't
てくれるもん
lose
ですか
to some stupid curse.
お前になんか絶
I
対
would
に負
never,
けない
ever lose to you.
みんなを奪った
You took everyone. I would never lose to you. Not ever.
サトコ。これだけは聞いてくれ。
Just let me say one thing. I don't know what my face looked like at the time, but it seemed like it was enough to quell Satoko's anguish.
俺のしたことは
I don't know
確かに褒め
what
ら
I
れるもの
did
じゃない。
isn't exactly praiseworthy.
いや、
No,
いけないことだったかもしれない。
maybe I should have never done it at all,
だけど、
but
お前
I did
に
it
幸せになってほしく
because
て
I want you
したこ
to
とだったんだ。
be happy.
それだけは
Please,
信じて
just
くれ。
believe that. You,
こいつ
you,
最後の
at the
最
very,
後で
at the very end,
ケイチさん
is
の
still
ふりを
pretending to be Keiichi-san. Satoko didn't seem to have any more desire to listen to what I had to say. And for that to happen at the very end like this was tragic.
お前に褒めら
I
れたくて
didn't
や
do
ったわ
any
け
of
じゃ
it
なかった
so you would praise me.
お前に
If it made you
幸せに
happy,
なってさえもらえればよ
that was
かった
all that mattered.
俺たちはダメなんだ
We were nothing
お前が笑ってい
without
ない
your
と
smile.
ダメなんだ
We were nothing.
だから
So
俺が
after
消
I
えたら
disappear, please
笑ってくれ
smile.
俺が死ぬことで
If you can get on with your own new life
新しい生活を迎えたなら
by me dying,
きっと
please
笑ってくれ
just smile.
それだけ
You at
約
least
束してくれないか
promise me that. Oh. Stop speaking! Don't use Keishi's mouth like that.
おじを
Fall down.
してしまえ
Fade to white. We don't get an image of him falling. And those were the last words Satoko ever said to me. Those sad, tragic, and altogether unrewarding words. What on earth was I? My desire to make Satoko happy ended up like this? Where did I go wrong? And what was the mistake I made? What did I make? When did I make it? Was I the crazy one? Or was it Hinamisawa? It is both. Mostly the area. Even after all this, I thought I wasn't crazy at all. It was this eerie world that was crazy. This world I accidentally wandered into one night. Because that fun world where I never doubted all the crazy times we had as a club will go on forever. It couldn't possibly have transformed into such an abnormal world. That fun world wouldn't have ended with Sadako pushing me to my death. In the end, I was going to be swallowed up by this crazy world and disappear. No, I'd probably already disappeared. Yes, probably. On the night of Watanagashi. I'm sure that in the world I really belonged to, I had vanished that night, and everyone was worried. It was laughable that I'd taken this long to figure it out. I wasn't around anymore. Oyashiro-sama's curse on the 5th year was Satoko's uncle dying, and me disappearing. In the real world, Satoko had already been freed. Maybe my friends were all lamenting my disappearance, and violently trying to get me back on my feet. And even though they were down to 4 people, the club would reopen, and they would have a good time without me, waiting for the day when I would come back. I'm sorry, everyone. I couldn't come back home, but this is what I wished for. It is my wish for Satoko's smile, and my duty as her Nini. At this point, there will be nobody left to torture you. Because Satoshi and I took 2 years, but we succeeded. That annoying, toothy smile of yours. You wanted to see it. One more time. What happened? What's going on? We hit the water? My pain wasn't gentle or merciful. It was a sharp pain, violent, powerful, ruthless. What little compassion I had rescinded in the span of a moment. And now, I could die. I could say goodbye to this insane world. Farewell, crazy Namizawa. Thanks for giving me the psychic power to kill people whenever I want it. If you still allow it, I will wish for one last thing. The death of this very world, of this crazy Namizawa, so that nobody would ever again have to find themselves lost here. Goodbye, Hinamizawa. I hope you all die. Alright, Keiichi, why did you have to make that last wish? What time is it? Ah, an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, we're almost done. I was going to end the stream early, but you know what? We're basically done with the episode, so let's finish it. Alright, so we got our last tip for the episode. Our research notes. So I'm guessing these are Tanako's, like last times. Again, watching Nagashi. All the research notes were from Tanako's notebook. Oyashiro-sama. Nobody really knows what characters to use to write Oyashiro-sama. Knowing this is hard, partly because depending on the time period, he has been called with various titles, with subtle changes to his name, and nobody knows the real one. The only thing all time periods agree on is that the four syllables O, Ya, Shi, Ro are always used. This is a theory stating the shrine of Yashiro, dedicated to Oyashiro-sama, itself became an object of worship, and that people began calling it Yashiro-sama, or Lord Honorable Shrine, but this doesn't make a bit of sense. I don't know whether this is related, but people say that the Furude family... Sorry. But people say the Furude family, the most respectable bloodline in terms of worshipping Oyashiro-sama, actually inherited his blood. In the legend, the Furude family passes down it for the 8 generations in a row. The firstborn child is a girl. The 8th daughter will be the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. If you go by this legend, the characters used for Oyashiro-sama name would be O for honorable, Ya for 8, and Shiro for generation. These characters' assignments are simply something I thought up. There is no way to verify it. If this is true, then Oyashiro-sama would have been named as such under the assumption he would come again. The second coming of an object of worship can be seen in several religions, so this isn't unnatural. But a few of these religions call the second coming of their object of worship a day of judgment, or something along those lines. And we must not forget they mean it to be the end of the world. Rika Furude, pampered and loved dearly, but by the elderly folk in the village. The rumors say she is the 8th generation. She is the 8th generation, and Oyashiro-sama. I do not know the family tree of the Furudes, but at the very least, I can confirm that for the past 2 generations, the first child has been a girl. Rika Furude watches over Hinamizawa. If the village were to lose her protection, what would happen? Would peace between man and demon be lost? Would it once again create a hellish landscape where man-eating demons run rampant? A gruesome feast of the demons, who suddenly remembered how delicious the weak humans were, who would only cry, scream, and run for their lives. What would that look like? Just imagine it. It's enough to make my heart pound with excitement. Rika-sama. Detective Tatarigoroshi. Alright, okay. So let's continue it. The final part of the curse killing chapter. The water's cold. No, the water's not that cold. I just have sensitive teeth. My head was pounding. The sky was bright. It was cold, too. It hurt. Each sensation I felt led to a new and different one awakening. When I came to, I was lying face first on a dry riverbed. A few body parts hurt a lot. The skin over a bunch of my joints was torn, turned blue or red, oozing blood. Ooh. I could tell it was my bones that were in pain from the agony I felt whenever I moved. I looked up and saw how high the bridge from which I had fallen was. Considering I dropped from there, it was a miracle I could open my eyes again. Better praise Rika-chan for that miracle. Right next to me was a broken upside-down car seat, which I guess some pranksters had brought here. Maybe this thing had been conveniently lying right underneath me, allowing me to escape instant death. Miraculous. Of course, I didn't know whether this miracle was fortunate or unfortunate. I failed to die, and now I was still stuck in this insane world. How long had I been unconscious for? The sun was high in the sky, so it looked like only 1 or 2 hours had passed. But my body's sluggishness didn't make it feel at all like so short a time had gone by. Mentally, it felt like I had been asleep for a decade. The more feeling returned to my body, the more the pain flooded in. It hurt so much. It hurt so much it would have been better not to have woken up. I need to get to a doctor. Yeah, the coach's clinic. The term coach's clinic brought back memories back one after another. Memories I wish I hadn't recalled. Sadako was no longer on the bridge. She had returned to Hinamizawa by now. She would put on some clothes, go to the clinic, get a checkup, report on how crazy I had seemed. The police were waiting for me without doubt. This time, would they find out for real that I killed her and arrest me? Or would they just send me to a mental institution, like I thought they might? Still, I didn't care which it was. Please, someone, stop all this pain. You can boil me or cook me after that, wherever you want. I began to walk unsteadily, just limping along. I went downstream, and then through an emerald trail-like path in the woods. I walked haphazardly, searching for a path I knew. Eventually, I came across a familiar road, and set off towards the clinic. Not to my house, but to the clinic, which had treated me like a lunatic. It was hot and humid. There was no wind and the air was stagnant. For a while now, I've been smelling the terrible stench of burnt eggs, and it made my face scrunched up. Burnt eggs taste good. They have a great smell. And then, at last, I noticed something. I couldn't hear any cicadas. Oh, alright, now we know something bad's gonna happen. It was the first time I heard Hinamizawa to be so utterly silent. When I thought back, it seemed like birds always chirped in the morning, cicadas always cried loudly in the afternoon, and Higurashi were always rose up in the chorus in the evening. Always something to hear. I couldn't hear a single insect. The only thing I could hear was the rustling of the wind brushing the treetops. I never expected this sort of quiet before. Even the only sound coming from the trees lacked life somehow. The trees were yellow, and many leaves were spread on the ground, despite it being too early for autumn. Even the weeds that had been growing so presently on the side of the road had yellowed, browned, and lost their vigor. Only the sunlight itself was only the sunlight itself was of the June Hinamizawa I knew. And yet it seemed like the sensation and yet it seemed like the seasons all switched all of a sudden. Looking at the fallen leaves and rotting weeds led me to spot a few small insects turned on their backs. They weren't moving. They were corpses. I looked closer to see insects' corpses scattered all around, like a child had collected them as samples and then strewn them about. The stench. What was it? It was terrible, like burnt eggs. Burnt eggs that smell amazing. Thinking I'm weird. Combined with all the bug corpses and leaves falling from the trees in summer. Had someone sprayed herbicides or pesticides around here? I don't know what that smells like. Even at school, we apparently fumigate it. They call it pest disinfection or something once or twice a year. I had to run into anybody, despite how bright it was outside. It was mild afternoon, and yet it felt like I was sauntering about at midnight. Well, with this smell, nobody would want to be walking around outside. Just what was this anyway? There was no sound, no noise, not even a breath. Hinamizawa was silent. The school would come into view right after turning this corner. And yet, I couldn't hear any commotion at all. None of the shouts or grunts that the children always made. It was simply quiet. Just as pretending to ignore the silence had grown intolerable, I saw the school. That looks the same. Nothing bad. And finally I heard something. It was the sound of a few trucks. There were a few very tall trucks parked in the schoolyard, idling. About 10 workers in raincoats were unloading things from the trucks. It was hot and humid, even in my casual clothing. I couldn't imagine how unbearable that must have been. And then I remembered. Our school was rented from the Forest Services field office building, wasn't it? It wasn't strange at all for the Forest Service trucks to be doing some kind of work in the schoolyard. Besides, what did the Forest Rangers do anyway? I felt bad for them having to work in such heat. It was just a stench about. They were taking colorful cargo out of the truck and lining up to the schoolyard. They were containers, fairly large ones, inside multicolored patchwork bags. Heavy too. They were being carried in pairs? They lined them up very neatly, like tuna. Oh, like tuna at the Riverside Fish Market. Lining up all that dead fish. Several dozens, hundreds of tuna were completely filling the fairly wide schoolyard up. I forgot my pain for a little while, captivated by the big forest ranger job I'd never seen before. As I stood there, watching in a daze, the people in raincoats working on the other side noticed me. One of them pointed me out, and they shouted a few things back and forth. I thought they might yell at me for getting in their way, so I decided to leave post haste. But then, 2 trucks drove up behind me. I stepped aside and they entered the schoolyard. Sheets covered their trucks, but I could tell they were completely full. As they passed, there was an awful smell that made me want to choke. It wasn't the same burned egg smell as before, but an even worse one, like rotten crab meat. What on earth was it? I had been enshrouded in one terrible stench after another all day. And then, certain white letters emblazoned on the side of the passing trucks caught my eye. What does it say? Ground Self-Defense Forces. What? Self-Defense Forces? Like the army? Why was the army in the schoolyard?
おい君、
Yes, sir.
どこから入ってきた？
I came from the ocean. Suddenly, someone slapped me on the shoulders from behind. I turned around, and a canopied SDF Jeep was parked there. The SDF person had a green raincoat and gas mask, like in the movies, carrying a compressed air cylinder. He didn't look normal. There wasn't even an inch of exposed skin anywhere.
どこから入ってきた？ててててて。
When I tried to talk, I stretched a wound on my head. It made the SDF people exchange glances. I could see their faces through their mask. I couldn't see their faces through the mask, but they seemed surprised.
君はひなみ様の住民か？住所と名前は言えるか？
I'm Keiji Marabara. I live in the big fancy
一
mansion.
応ここに住んでますけど、名前は前原圭一です。あ、住所は獅子骨市
Redacted.
ひなみ沢村。
After seeing me tell them my name and address, without hesitation, one of the SDF people watching from the Jeep started talking to a radio.
本部、応答願います。本部、
Over.
402生存者発見。繰り返す。402生存者発見。
We have a 402.
場所は営林署入り口前。
This is base. This is base. We copy. Secure the survivor at once. What's the status?
生存者は健在。全身に外傷を認められるも、生命に自立歩行可能。これより保護し、本部へ送致します。
I was prepared to go along with the police, but the SDF? I couldn't help but think it seemed a little bit much. They urged me into the back of the Jeep, and then they told me to put on this gigantic gas mask. I did so, and one of the troops fiddled around with it, strapping it tightly to me. It was heavy, hard to see out of, hot, and difficult to breathe. Just looking at the world through the lenses made it lose its sense of reality. My breathing sounded like some giant monster through the mask. At this point, I had no idea what was happening. With much trepidation, I asked the trooper adjusting the mask.
すみません。何
Sumimasen.
かあったんですか？
And just the apocalypse.
君はどこにいたんだ？
He sounded offended. You hear that? Like, what do you mean? What were you?
何をしていたんだ？
Hey, don't answer a question with more questions. I was the one asking you.
ずっと山に入ったところにある吊り橋から落っこちて河原で多分気絶してました。今日が何曜日かもよくわからないです。
今日は昭和58年の6月22日
June 22nd.
水曜日だ。
Wednesday. That surprised me. Sako pushed me off the bridge on Tuesday the 21st. That meant I had been asleep on that riverbed for an entire day. Alright. Because I think in the anime version, he woke up in the middle of the night. I think. I need to go back and watch the anime. Whoever had the time to. But even on the river for the entire day? Thank goodness no mountain lions or anything.
改めて聞きますけど、何があったんですか？
Like I said, it was the
なんで
apocalypse.
自衛隊が来てるんです？何かの訓練ですか？
Is the drill? Had my questions been that difficult for him? None of the troopers would answer me. The one in the driver's seat, talking on his radio, turned on the vehicles. He turned the dial, and some broadcast station on another came in. I started to listen to the voice of a radio announcer I was familiar with.
より首相官邸で行われました。
It was conductor of
記者
the
団から
Prime
の
Minister's
自衛
office.
隊の災害
In
出動が
regards to
迅速
questions
に
from
行
the
われなか
press,
ったことが
STF
前
not
例のない
responding to
未
the
曾有の大災害
disaster
に直結したの
probably
では
was
ないかとの質
directly
問に
related
対
to
し、
this
奥野官房長
unpredicted,
官は
unheard of
次のように
catastrophe.
コメントしました。
Chief Cabinet Secretary Okuna had this to say.
でありまして、県知事からの派遣要請を受けて迅速に対応したものと思っております。
と、このように述べ、要請を受けてからの自衛隊の出動は迅速であった。むしろ、県側の事態把握に遅れがあった可能性を
He
示唆し
implied
ま
that
した。
it was the prefecture's responsibility for taking too long to our... this is being Shin Gojira flashbacks.
そもそも、自衛隊の派遣を要請した県知事は、災害発生から
When did the
前
governor
例
who
のない
requested
大
a
災害であるこ
dispatch
とをいつ
actually
認識で
become
きたのか。
aware of the
そして、
outbreak
災害
of
派遣
such
要
an
請までに、
unpredicted
いわゆる
catastrophe?
お役所的な
And
ロ
did
スタ
he
イムが
not
生じ、
intervene
被
further
害の
damage
拡大を招い
because
た
of
の
the
ではない
time
か。
lost because
今後の究明が
lost
待たれてい
before
ます。
he sent the request for disaster relief? In other words, because of the bureaucracy. But is this a thing that the Japanese people been commenting on their government for a while? That their bureaucracy is just too like stacked and slow? Like I said, I mentioned Shin Gojira. That was like that was like the big commentary in that film, just how bad their government was at handling disasters, specifically the earthquake and nuclear reaction back in 2011.
首相官邸より報道部の尾形記者がお送りしました。さて、ここでもう一度災害
And
発
we
生から
can
の
look
行
at
政の
the
対応を
political
振り返ります。
response following this disaster. In the middle of the night between June 21st and June 22nd. Wait, what's music is this? Lies, 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 lies! Such a poetic title. And I'm opening it up because I'm going to use that later. A large-scale disaster broke out in Hinamizawa village, Shishibon. The details have not yet been investigated, but there was an eruption of volcanic gas from somewhere in the Hinamizawa area. The gas was relatively heavy, and as it spewed out, began to flow. That flow went down a long small river and headed directly into Hinamizawa village. After a few hours, it had covered the entire region. It happened in the middle of the night, 2 to 4 a.m. Every home and household in the village was affected. With most of the residents asleep, it is thought that they all died without noticing the crisis. The catastrophe, striking in the middle of the night, causes detection to come too late. But there was still one small opportunity to have noticed it. 3 a.m. A news dealer shop in Okiniya sent a vehicle carrying the morning newspaper to his branch office in Hinamizawa. Usually, the shop would be contacted upon the vehicle's arrival, but this morning, that didn't happen. The news dealer shop made repeated calls, but got no response. The shopkeeper sent his eldest son to check on things, but they lost contact with him as well.
非常に悔やまれています。この時点で警察か消防への連絡があったなら、
It's highly possible the situation would have turned out more positively. At the very least, it's possible that a portion of the village might have been saved from the tragic annihilation. 6 a.m. Residents in areas in the same region began continuously calling 119 to report a smell of rotten eggs, dizziness, nausea, and headaches. the fire department received the same reports, all from the same confined region. They speculated a truck loaded with chemicals may have gotten into an accident and reported it to the local police. 6:30 a.m. Contact was lost with a patrol car on duty in the Hinamizawa area after the officer reported the smell of rotten eggs. The local police considered the possibility of a large-scale disaster involving highly lethal gas and reported to the prefecture and prefectural police at 7:15 a.m. 8 a.m. The governor was traveling to a nearby prefecture for an inspection. So, in accordance with regulations, the prefectural environmental disaster prevention chief was provisionally escalated to the director general, set up a disaster countermeasure office. However, without contacting the governor, the countermeasure came too late. As has recently been pointed out by citizen groups, his trip with honorary Diet members to inspect other prefectures was based solely on good relations. In his rumor, they preoccupied themselves with a drinking party. Wait, what?
近い筋の話では、知事は徹夜で飲んだくれて、泥酔状態で就寝していたそうです。環境部長から電話があった時も泥酔していて、全く取り合ってもらえなかったのだそうです。
Taxpayers at work, ladies and gentlemen. And so the authorities in the hour or so took for the governor to grasp the situation and sober up. Did nothing but accumulate information.
知事は言うに及びませんが、知事不在時には本部長を務めることになる環境部長にも怠慢の責任が問われる。
Though not as extreme as the governor's case, the environmental chief, who became director general in governor's absence, will likely also be questioned about his negligence. In addition, without any procedures in place. On the prefecture side that predicted catastrophes, this massive, they would have always react too late. That ended up being fatal. 9:12 a.m. On the advice of the prefectural police, the governor requested a disaster relief mission from the STF. By the time the chemical defense unit, equipped with protective equipment, arrived on the scene, 8 hours had already passed since the incident's outbreak. Whatever the case may be, it was unforgettable this happened. While everyone was sleeping in the middle of the night, had the same disaster occurred during the day, it likely would have been entirely different. Ugh. All households in the Hinamizawa village region were wiped out. There were over 1,000 victims. The SCF is still confirming the situation on the ground, but with their results are predicted to only increase that number. Dr. Fujiwara, a professor at Redacted University, who is well acquainted with volcanic disasters. Doctor, can such a sudden and horrible outburst of poisonous gas actually happen? It isn't at all unnatural for this to happen, or around craters at least. Japan is a volcanic nation, and so has many active volcanoes. There is always a dangerous hazard gas around any of these craters. It is generally a rule among mountain climbers not to go near them.
では今回、南沢村を襲った卵のフラン臭のするガスというのも火口部では一般的なガスということですか?
Yeah, that seems kind of strange.
卵のフラン臭という特徴から
There's hydrogen sulfide, a gas seen particularly frequently in accidents compared to other volcanic gases. It is dense. If it is dense, it becomes extremely dangerous.
南沢村は火山の火口部とは全く縁遠い場所にあるわけですが、そういった火口部でない場所にもその硫化水素が発生
So there's not even volcano craters near the area. Wrong button.
詳しいことが分かっていないので、
There are recursive gas eruptions due to magma buildup under hot springs. It is an extremely rare event, but it is possible for such a thing to happen, even in a region not near craters. It is extremely rare, but how rare, sir? I want to know how rare. An announcement from the Japan Defense Agency. Miss Morikawa, are you there?
はい、防衛庁です。先ほど防衛庁はひなみ沢村ガス災害の主原因となった
The village gas disaster. Analysts from the Ground Soil Defense Force Department of Chemistry have found that the gas was a mixture of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide.
森川さん、そのガスは依然として噴出を続け、周囲に拡大しているのでしょうか？
現在、ひなみ沢村で救助活動に入っている自衛隊第9師団の報告として、ガスの濃度は徐々に薄まりつつある。
Steadily decreasing. They announced that the damage will not spread.
ですが依然、ひなみ沢村地区は危険
It's
な
still
状態
in
にあること
danger,
には変わり
and
な
a
く、
very strict observation
今後も
must
注
be
意深く監
maintained.
視を続ける必要があるようです。
防衛庁から報道部の森川記者がお伝えしました。
And now we have a report on the state of those who have been made to evacuate Okimiya area.
現在、
Shimishokeki Elementary School is one of the evacuation sites.
報道部の
And we currently have a
記者が
reporter
お伝えいたします。
reporter on this scene.
何ですか
Wait,
それ。
what? Inside the jeep, clambering and bouncing along the rough road, none answered my muttered question. An unprecedented catastrophe had destroyed Hinamizawa in a single night. Where was Hinamizawa village, anyway? Someplace deep in the mountains, right? Names of places I heard about on the radio were always like that. They were all places I never heard of, much less knew the location of. Wiped out? What does that mean? Don't they usually say how many died and how many were injured? How many people were alive? Where did everyone evacuate to? Eventually came to view of the coach's clinic. For the first time, I saw the flag of Japan hanging on a pole outside. Japan's circular sun hung down as though exhausted. Many STF tents were set up in the clinic's big parking lot, and many strict security vehicles were parked there as well. When they saw the jeep coming, men in white clothing and gas masks came running out of the clinic, frantic, carrying a stretcher.
もう大丈夫だよ。具合は
He fell off.
歩けるかい？
Can you walk? Yeah, you can walk.
歩けます。あ、いてて。
And because of my own owls, they forced me to lay in the stretcher anyway. People who seemed like doctors were looking at me and notifying others of my condition via radio.
外傷多数。骨折もしくは内臓損傷の可能性大。頭部に大きな裂傷。瞳孔正常。
People's normal.
眼底に出血なくも脳内損傷の可能性は否定できず。
And then, from the clinic entrance, people lying on the stretchers were brought outside to replace them. Judging by their clothing, they were from Hinamizawa, and that's how I knew they were victims. They brought the stretchers in front of a truck. Two troops, holding the shoulders and legs like some kind of baggage, picked them up and threw them into the truck. You had to do that in front of the kid. You really had to do that in front of the kid. And the trunk of the truck, people's bodies piled in heaps. They were just like baggage. And that told me they were already nothing but shells. At that moment, I remember all those colorful sacks filling the trucks, and them lined up in a schoolyard like a fish market. Hundreds of empty shells. Corpses. 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 Corpses, 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 corpses!
バカ
You jackasses!
犠牲者を粗末に扱うな
Don't just throw the victims like that!
彼は村の
They
住民だ
lived here! The troops carrying the sacks answered with a humble salute. The world didn't need this insane version of Hinamizawa. My final wish. Again, it was granted. He wished for everyone to die. I didn't understand anything anymore. None of it mattered. I wished, I cursed, and then it happened the next day. Then please, tomorrow morning, let me die. That's insane. Night. It's still going on. Please, please, end it already. I want you to let me die. What? Who is this?
おい、意識が損失したぞ。患者の名前を呼びかけ
Shout his name.
早く。
前原君聞こえるかい聞こえるなら瞬きでいいから
Come on, KG.
前原君
Actually, no, let the
前原君
let the kid die at this point.
前原君
Put him out of his misery. Suddenly, the world didn't matter to me anymore. I wasn't interested in their
呼
cries.
吸が停止したぞ。
Ooh,
気道確保。
get his respiratory tract open. Are they gonna cut him up?
人工呼吸。絶対に生かせ。
Make him live.
畜生。
Damn it.
畜生。
Damn it.
もうこれ以上。
No more
死者
dead
は
people.
ごめんだぞ。死んでもいい命なんかないんだ。殺すな。殺すな。
I could hear the voices of a man crying and screaming in my ears. Nobody deserves to die. Those words came from his heart. They were so commonplace. They soaked into my heart too. Maybe it was a mistake to take someone's life, even if it was to save Satoko. If this is the price I had to pay, this horrible tragedy, then this is a little much. Oh, Yashiro-sama? Why? Why did you never punish me? Come to think of it, Sadako said something. Oishiro-sama's actual curse never goes for the target first, but kills everyone they love before that. Oishiro-sama's curse? It was a convenient excuse I told myself at the very end. That it wasn't my curse that destroyed it, but Oishiro-sama's. Given that I was on a stretcher, this next bit might have been obvious. But last of all, I realized one thing. Yeah, today I had not heard footsteps following me, even once. And now I was liberated. And the cries of the Higurashi I couldn't have been hearing filled my mind. Their tearful ensemble was the only funeral march I had. Liberation! June 22nd, 1983. Early morning. A widespread disaster occurred in Hinamizawa village, Shishibone Prefecture. Volcanic gas, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide erupted from the Onikafuchi swamp. One of the Hinamizawa area's water sources has spread through the entire village. There was 1,200 victims. 20 had gone missing. The catastrophe was unpredictable, forcing local governments to evacuate approximately 600,000 people. According to later investigations, magma pools and hot springs were uncovered directly under Onikafuchi Swamp, and the gas that gushed from it was determined to be the cause of the disaster. In addition, directly after the incident broke out, many came forth, claiming this disaster was a curse based in Hinamizawa village legends, first sparking a wave of chaos. There was apparently local legends of a curse spreading a miasma, destroying the village. And some scholars believe a similar gas disaster may have happened in the past and remain part of these legends. Mainstream periodicals suggested this was an extension of a string of freak death incidents that had been happening in recent years in Hinamizawa village, stirring interest and theories about this curse of Oyashiro-sama. In addition, relatives of those in Hinamizawa village who have escaped the disaster complained of sickness afterwards and were hospitalized. Some of them even died of unknown causes, further encouraging such extreme opinions. On top of that, several relatives professing to be possessed by Oyashiro-sama curse committed ended themselves in strange ways. And the impact the disaster had on the entire nation can no longer be ignored. Wild visions of terrible toxic gas sneaking around in the middle of the night, killing people spilled across the country, causing a steady stream of people complaining of insomnia, difficulty breathing, headache, dizziness, etc. Some who identified themselves as being possessed, being obsessed by it, began doing odd things. Some of these were mistakenly attributed by the tabloid press. But afterward, some even began to call the mental issue arising from Hinamizawa tragedy by the Hinamizawa syndrome. Oh! This is the first time that word's popped up in the VN so far. I don't think they used the term till the 7th arc in the anime. The Hinamizawa village region, the object of all kinds of rumors and speculation, is currently closed off. Even flying overhead is prohibited. The prohibition was at one point undone as a result of a decrease in the gas density. But that autumn other gas burst was confirmed, leading to the area being cordoned off again. Word is that the area is sound asleep, all traces of its former life intact, left to rot. They were really into it here. It wasn't just the village, but everyone in the prefecture just got uprooted from their lives. Only one survivor remains, Keiji Marbara, age redacted, who lived at redacted Hinamizawa village. At the time of rescue, he had some trouble breathing due to fluid buildup in his lungs. But as a result of life-saving procedures, he was kept alive. He is currently in General Hospital somewhere in the prefecture. The press has been asking for him for some time, but all interviews are being refused. What did he see in Hinamizawa? What happened between June 21st and June 22nd in Hinamizawa village? Today he remains silent, unwilling to speak of it. What's happening now? Oh, what's screen? What's wrong? Screen's acting stupid. Okay, all the names. Jiro Tonitake, real name unknown. What? Real name unknown. Mio Takuno, strangled to death in mountains, Shifu. Body was burned to a crisp. Oh, she went missing. Can I pause these? I can't. Okay. Died in a great disaster. Rina Ryuga. Mion, disaster. Sonzaki, disaster. Satoko Hojo, disaster. Passed away. What's the other part say? I can't read it. Shion Sanazaki commit. Oh! Keiichi Maebara attempted diagnosed with severe mental disorder due to disaster undergoing. Higurashi, when they cry. Wait, this is like a big like end credit scene? Like this is like the end part of the thing? None of the other versions did. Episode 2, 1 and 2 didn't do this. What's this all about? You're trying to fake it? You're trying to confuse us like we don't know there's more episodes? Alright, let's keep going. Created by 07th expansion. You crazy bastards, you. Especially you, Ryokishi. Thank you for creating such an amazing story. Higurashi, when they cry. Come on, do a jump scare. Do something. I know there's more to the episode. The game is not just over. Yep, I knew it. 2003. Okay. Another couple living in Okazaki Prefecture. Okay, I need to take a quick break. I'm sorry, guys. Just like 4 or 5 minutes. Give me one. I'll be right back. Alright, back to try to hurry up. And on the pretense of not being a little too crude. I had to go to the bathroom for a while, but I was so intrigued in the game, and I wanted just to leave in the middle of it, so I just kept holding it in. Alright. We're almost done. An elderly couple living in Osaka Prefecture discovered a cassette tape while organizing the possessions of their son, who passed away 8 years ago. Their son went missing when his fishing boat capsized in 1995. He was 47 at the time of his death. 8 years later, in 2003, they had begun to organize their son's remains in order to organize their minds. They came across the cassette tape in question. From 1975 to 1989, the deceased had experienced working as a journalist for a photography periodical, and this tape is thought to have created during that time. The label on the tape read 11/28/1983, Keiichi Maebara. It is thought the tape was recorded during an interview with Keiichi Maebara, the only survivor of the Great Hinamizawa disaster that occurred in June of 1983. the only person who lived through the disaster on the night of June 21st. Shrouded in mystery, many interested parties attempted to question him, but he never once spoke physically to anyone in public places. Therefore, the tape caused quite a stir, possibly being extremely high value. Click.
なんだか録音されてると思うとすごく喋りにくいですね。
Why, Keiichi?
気にしない気にしない。ほら、こうすれば録音してるのも気にならないでしょ。
After this, the sound quality dramatically decreases. Did he cover the recording device with something?
じゃあ始めるね。まず最初の質問から。ケイチ君はあの大災害の夜どこにいたのかな？
Do you remember, Keiichi?
神社から裏に抜けてずっと林道を進んで吊り橋があるんですよ。
There's a rope behind there.
山に入る少し前に
Uh-huh.
そこから落ちて
Fell from
気を
there
失ってました。
and lost consciousness.
それは大災害の夜、つまり21日から22日にかけての深夜のこと？
いえ、
No.
21日の
It was the morning of 21st, Tuesday,
それで
which means I woke up the afternoon of the next day. I think I was out for a day
そこで気を失
and a
っ
half.
てたと思います。
どうしてそんなところに？誰もが持つ疑問だけど、当日は平日で、しかも落ちた橋は君の家と学校からは大きく離れているよね。ザックバランに行って、君が大災害の発生を事前に知っていて、村から逃げる途中に吊り橋から落ちたんじゃないかっていう声もあるんだけど。
He did kind of wish for it.
冗談じゃないです。
This isn't a joke.
勝手なことを言わないでください。
Please don't be so arbitrary about this.
私も随分ひどい言い分だと思うよ。気を悪くしないでね。さて、次に圭一君が落ちたという吊り橋。
It was right there on the
地
map.
図で言うとここだよね。神社の裏から
The rope bridge beyond the back of the shrine and through the path in the woods.
多分、俺もあんまり行かないところなので自信はないですが。
そんなに行かないところにどうして平日の朝に行ったのか疑問は尽きないけどな。
That's a long story.
それで、この君が気絶していたという河原なんだけど、実はそれはありえないという噂は知っている。
What can I say? Someone made a miracle happen.
ありえない。
Impossible.
また、
That
ありえない。
that word. Again.
また、
Again.
まだ。
Again. For a little while, Keiichi mutters the words impossible several times.
どうしてあ
Why
りえないと？
would it be impossible?
火山ガスが発生したのは鬼ヶ淵という沼なのは知ってるよね。それで学者の先生が緻密な模型を使ってシミュレーションをしたら興味深いことが分かったんだってな。
What would you discover?
うん
What's so interesting?
例の火山ガスってのは空気よりも重いらしくて、
Uh-huh.
地形に沿って低いところへ低いところへ流れ込む水みたいな性質があるんだって
That's
さ。
what. Yes, we all know how gases and liquids work.
それで発生源の鬼ヶ淵沼からそういうガスが噴出し、どれくらいの時間をかけて村を覆うのか実験がされたんだ。
Okay, what did they find out?
そしたらさ、
Uh-huh.
君が気絶していたという河原、
Yes, sir.
流れ込むんだよ、ガスが。
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
よく言ってる意味がわからないんですが。
He's saying why you laugh.
つまり、君が本当にこの河原で気絶していたなら、君は丸一晩、猛毒の火山ガスの中にいたことになるんだよ。だからつまり、君がここで気絶をしていた可能性は否定されたわけさ。もっとざっくばらんに言うよ。
How can you be more frank?
私はね、君が嘘をついているんじゃないかなって思うんだ。
I'm sorry, sir, but you know who you're talking
君は
to?
大災害の時、安全なところに身を潜めていて、ガスが薄れた頃合いを見計らって村に現れて自衛隊の人に保護された。
That is an interesting blue theory, but quite impossible. I see no truth in
ど
this.
うかな？ 図星かな。
For a short time, the journalist pressed Keiichi Maebara further, in a teasing way. But all you can hear are heavy sighs.
別に仮にそうだったとしても、
驚かないとはどういう意味だい？
And boy keeps saying he does remember. But was this recording really taken of Keiichi Maebara? Some harbor suspicions. What's this? Why is this here? You said it before, didn't you?
ありえないって。
That it was impossible?
あのひなみ沢では
Impossible things happen in Hinamizawa all the
い
time.
くらでも起こるんです。
There are people who shouldn't be
い
existing.
ないはずの場所に人がいる。死んだはずの人
Dead
が生き
people
てる。
end up alive.
そんなこと。
It's not
珍
really
しいことじゃ
that
ないんですよ。
unusual.
まさか。
Never
俺
thought
自身が
I, of all people, would be asked to prove that I was still alive when I was supposed to have died. Aw, laughter. It's so contagious. The journalist engaged in Maebara both laughed for a while. To verify his
じ
authenticity,
ゃあケイちゃん、
I had the
話を変える
others
よ。
in the Maebara family check the tapes, with his voice in it. However, the sound was not clear. Much time had passed, so the relatives I checked with couldn't remember what he sounded like. I was actually unable to gain positive proof it was actually his voice. Alright then, I'll change the subject.
あの大災害が
What do you think of the debate about whether this
5年目の
disaster was the
話に
curse?
ついてはどう思う？
Okay, this is where the visual novel text is hurting me. the text behind it. Alright. What do you think of the debate about whether this disaster, the curse, the 5th year of the serial freak deaths incidents in Hinamizawa?
いや、それはないですね。
I don't think it was.
5年目のたたり。
I was the curse that year after all.
え？何のこと？
What do you mean?
何のことって。
What do I?
あんたの話に対す
I
る
was
答え
just answering the
ですよ。
question. Doubts also
あの
remain.
大災害は、まあ、言っても信じないでしょうけど。
Doubts also remain regarding the date, November 28th, written on the tape. The curse. Well, you probably don't believe me when I tell you this.
俺が起こしたんです。
I was the one who caused it.
俺がね、
I was the one
こんな村
who wished for the whole
丸ごと
village
死んじまえって
to
願った
die,
から起こ
and it
ったんで
happened.
それは
What
豪快な
an
話ですね。
exciting story.
す。公開？
Exciting.
そういう面白い言い
I
方もあるんで
suppose
す
you
ね
could call it that. After Keiichi Maebara failed to end himself, end his life, on a certain August day, 2 months after the disaster, he was diagnosed with a mental disorder and transported to a treatment facility. I was the one who killed Tanako-san, and Coach, and Oshi too.
あの時の俺には
At the time, I had some kind of
神がかり的な力が宿ってたん
divine
です。
power.
そう。
Yes,
例える
I
なら
suppose it was like
足音かな。
footsteps?
足音？
Footsteps? Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
あんた、
Have
足音
you
聞いたこともないんです
never
か？
heard footsteps before?
ペタペタ。
Tip tap tip tap. Tip tap tip tap.
ひたひた。
The facility never allowed
あん
any
た
news
これから
coverage,
は歩いてる
so it's
時
extremely
不意に
unlikely
立ち止まってみると面白い
that tape from the media dated after August 1983 would have his voice on it. Today, when you're walking around, try suddenly something. Today, when you're walking around, try stopping suddenly. Something interesting will happen.
それでね、
Anyway,
自分がちゃん
if
と
you
立ち止まったに
hear
もかかわ
an
らず
extra footstep Even though you already stopped walking. You better be careful. You know? Yes. I'll be careful. Is what I'm saying really funny to you? However, the reporter had been criticized for his forceful methods of collecting data when he was active. So there is still a possibility that he broke into the facility and joined and forced Keiichi Marubara to talk. You've been doing nothing but laugh in my face this whole time. You're just like Coach. You pretend to sympathize with me, to listen to what I have to say, but your eyes are telling me you think I'm a lunatic. That's not true. No, I can tell. Your eyes are the same as Coach's. Is this truly Keiichi Marubara's voice? The authority of this recording is still wrapped in mystery. I never heard the footsteps again after that day. So I don't think I have that terrible power anymore. Perhaps right here, right now, I wish for you to die. I wish for your death for saying all these unpleasant things. Yes, this time, why don't I decide how you die? Takano-san was burned to death. So, let's go with the opposite. With water. I hope you drown and die. How's that? 15 years after this tape was created, the reporter, as Keiichi Marubara had predicted, died in an accident out on the sea. If I'm in top form like I was then, you'll die before tomorrow morning, for sure. Now then, I wonder how many days it will take for you to drown. Oh! Our boy aged like in 20 years. What happened to him? Keiichi. Don't go tilting. Don't go getting yourself killed by some stupid curse I'll put on you, okay? The recording ends in the middle of Keiichi Marubara's laughter. And Keiichi Marubara what? Late on the night of November 30th, 1983, 2 days after the interview, he suddenly died. Records remained of the strange words he kept giving, after pressing the call button the day before he died. An extra set of footsteps. He heard them again, right before the end. That's the end? Alright, that's the end of episode 3! Tatarigoroshi! Anything extra? Oh! A new scenario has been unlocked. All cast review sections have been available. Alright. Angel Mart. Go up. The Great Hinamizawa Disaster! I love the extra scene. I think the manga version was a little more creepy, but of course the manga has the better artwork. But I just realized that's the first time we saw Keiichi's face in the VN. Because all taking place from his point of view, we never actually get to see his face. But this is the first time. And they show him looking like a drug addict who's aching for a hit. Alright, let's look at the cast review section.
この度も日暮らしの泣く頃に水たたり殺しを最後までお楽しみいただき
I had a great time.
これまでのシナリオとは少し違う雰囲気でお送りしましたが
Yeah, a lot
いかがだったで
darker.
しょうか
Yeah, a lot darker, more effed up.
お楽しみいただけたなら幸いです
I enjoyed it in a sick way. Oh, Tonako's here. Hey, Tonako-san.
今回も胸のすくようなバッドエンドだったわね。私個人としては大災害が実際に起こった時の惨劇の描写も欲しかったところだけど、みんなの感想も同
Of
じかしら。
course you would, Tonako. Of course you would.
そんなわけありませんでしたよ
Hey, they have a scene together.
またしてもまたしても
It happened again and again.
大大大バッドエンド
What are you laughing me on? You died too.
バッドエンドって割にはみーちゃんは楽しそうだねっていうかもう笑うしかないってのが本音でしょうね
Yeah, you're basically... I'm guessing this is the afterlife for you.
毎回嫌な割り方がエスカレートすると思ったらとうとうここまで行き着いちゃったわけですからね
But we didn't see you die.
みんな仲良しで死んじゃったのですよ
Rika, how can you smile after getting the worst of it?
仲良しなのですミパ
そういう見方もあるのかな。毎回死んでる僕はもうごめんだな。
I keep getting killed again and again. Can the author please change my story?
たまには死なずにエンドを迎えたいね。
Nah, you don't deserve that yet.
時報みたいな役割なんですよね富武さんが死んだらあ後半戦突入だ
Yes, we know things are getting good.
みたいな
Let's laugh at this poor man's death.
ではここで今回の会合に改めてご参加拍手でお迎えくださいまずは監督
Coach Ire Koke-san.
ご紹介に預かりまして光栄です。
Hello, Coach.
どうもどうも。脇役だったわけですが、トータルで見てみるとかなり美味しい役だったななんて思ってます。
He's like, I finally got a body.
本当ですわね脇役にしては出番もセリフも多すぎ
Yeah, too many appearances, too much dialogue, too strong of a role for a minor character.
今後どれだけ出番があるかはわかりませんが、その説は応援よろしくお願いしますね。
Yeah, you like disappear for 2 episodes, I think.
ありがとうございましたでは次に我らが担任知恵ルミ子先生
皆さんどうもこんにちは。いろいろと登場シーンもあったのですが、今回カレー勝負で目立つシーンをい
The
ただきま
Curry
して
Showdown. An awesome scene that took a little bit too
カレ
long.
ーをバカにする人は許せません。ええ
I never tried curry. I watch her come through the computer like the ring.
誰もバカになんてしてい
I'm gonna rush through this a little bit. While it's fun and cute, it deserves no real time.
さてこれでとりあえずレナまた乾杯をよろしくね
Alright, what's the honors?
では皆さん各卓のコップをお持ちになってくださいお飲み物はいろいろありますよ
Alright,
本当に
I only have
賑やかになりましたね
water. I do have some wine, but I can't really drink right now. Has something to do in the morning.
今何人ぐらいいるんです
私たちを加えて多分10人くら
Ooh, we
いはい
got
ると思い
10
ます。
people.
未成年人と成年人の人数比がこれでやっと互角かな。これで胸を張ってアルコールが飲めるね。
ビールって
Speaking of beer,
冷えてるとあんなに美味しいのに、ぬるくなるとあんなにまずくなるのかしら。
I don't know. I'm more of a spirits person than
七不
beer.
思議の一つよね。なんででしょうね。
Did you drink curry flavored alcohol?
12345あれ大人は6人でしたっけ
6 adults. Rika! Of course, it's Rika trying to get a drink.
僕も泡麦茶がいいのです。
I like the foamy barley tea as well. Rika-chan, you can't drink. You're so small, Rika. She's like, bitch, give me that drink, give me the alcohol. You have no idea what I've been through.
リカちゃんもお酒はダメ。ではレナさん、そろそろお願いします。
Is that the first hint Rika actually drinks alcohol? Because we don't get a hint of it in the first 3 episodes. Unless it was very subtle and I missed it.
はいはい。皆さん、ご清聴ですわよ。
Of course, Satoko.
では皆さん、日暮らしの泣く頃に水、乾杯。
Kanpai! Everyone, get your drinks up. Get your drinks up. Kanpai!
せーの。
Kanpai! Yay! Clap, 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 clap.
さて、では毎回恒例の今回のシナリオ議論でもやってみますか
Alright,
ね。
yeah, fat asshole.
とは言ったものの、今回のシナリオもケムに巻かれっぱなし。
Well, it does that to ya.
意見のある方は挙手をお願いしますね。
But I know the truth. So I got everything down pat.
みんな慎重。
Why did that upset you, Mion?
挙手ないね。じゃあ、私が先陣を切ろうかしら。
Of course, the lady with the murder boner is gonna break the ice.
申し訳ないんだけど、音楽を変えてもらってもいいかしら。
How can you hear the music?
もう少しミステリアスな感じの。
It changed. Does Tanako-san have that power? She can change all music when she wants it to?
ああ、これがいいわね。
ムードが出まくりなのです。では、高野さん。
Take it away.
多分ね。
I think just by pouring over the Higurashi story,
謎は解けないんじゃないかと
mystery
思う
won't be
の。
revealed quite yet.
そりゃあ同感だね。ここまで物語が重なれば、そういう仕掛けがあること。
そんな仕掛けありましたかしら。
これ
Um,
が正しい例かはわからないけど、鬼隠
well,
し
what
で
can-
前原くんが大石さんとレストランで食事をして、それが園崎さんに知られていて不思議だったってくだり
Okay,
がありますよね。
Onikakushi, Marabara-kun was eating in the restaurant with Oshi-san. Sonozaki-san found out. It was a little mysterious, right?
鬼隠しだけだと実に不思議な出来事ですけど、綿流しを読めば別に不思議でも何でもないことがわかります。
Yes, because Shinon was there. Shinon was probably watching.
劇中の私が入ったレストランは園崎系列の店だったということですね。園崎一族はこの辺りの飲食店やら何やらを
So
経営
things
している
will
わけです
make
か
their way back to Mion.
で、ケイちゃんの顔を知る者があの店にいて、それを私に伝えたと考えれば比較的筋は通るでしょ。
Okay, so when that actually happened, Mion did know about it, so it wasn't just Keiichi hallucinating, like I thought.
そういうことだね。
日暮の物語は微細に異なる場所大筋の設定においては多分4つのシナリオは共通。
What?
例えばキャラクター設定
The characters, settings, for example.
鬼隠しのレナは怖い人だけど、それは鬼隠しだけの設定ということじゃ
I
な
love
くて、
Vanessa's admitting, like, yeah, I was kind of scary in the first
レ
chapter.
ナはレナで4つのシナリオに全く変わらない設定で出演しているということですね。
全く変わらない設定というのは同感。僕がどのシナリオでも常に同じ場所で同じ仕事をするのはその最たるものだね。
Yeah, it's not your time for character development, buddy. You'll get that soon. You'll get that soon.
どんな物語に なっても必ず同じ日に死にますですよ。
渡流し編でお祭りの最中に高野さんと富武さんが西宮殿に忍び込むというあのシ
The
ーン
same scene may have still happened in other stories, even though it was not portrayed.
なっているそうです。綿流し当日のお天気や部活の内容、里子のおじさんの帰宅などいくつかのイベントを除けばほとんどが共通するそうです。
So the weather, Satoko's uncle coming home are the events that changed the outcome of the story. If that didn't happen, it more likely would have been closer to Onikakushi and Watanagashi.
だとすると、新しい全く同じ環境で語られる物語なのに、なぜああも違う物語に派生するのか。
Well, I just mentioned it. Different factors. New pieces coming onto the chessboard.
一般的なサスペンスアドベンチャーの視点で考えると、物語が派生する分岐点が存在したってことになりま
Yeah,
すね。
but I don't get to make choices. Isn't that type of visual novel?
お姉に人形を渡した、あるいは渡さなかったというあたり。あんな序盤の選択肢。
An avoidable bad end come from a choice so early on.
恐ろしい選択肢だね。
That's pretty scary.
ではたたり殺しに話を戻しますと、この場合です。
私はずっとそれ以前、
Yeah, it was the fact that the uncle came home that was the bad ending.
同居人の女性がトラブルで失踪して、おじがひなみ沢に帰ってくることになったあたりから、もう
では一番最初の鬼隠しの分岐はどこなのですか？
The first branch, Onikakushi. First branch in Onikakushi, or everything went wrong.
やはり劇中の私が登場してお社様のたたりに関する連続開始事件のことを話すあたりからだと思いますね。
Yeah, that's probably it. Because everything would... nothing bad probably would happen to Onikakushi if she didn't give Keiichi a bad reason to suspect his friends. But counterpoint, if Rena and Neon were just a little bit more honest when Keiichi first asked them about the dam incidents and the killings and disappearances, if they were just a little bit more honest, the ending would probably be a little bit better.
今思ったんですけれど、
Yes, Satoko?
ちゃんと圭一さんがミオンさんの気持ちを理解して、それで大石さんも私のおじさんも現れなかったら何も起こらずに平和に過ごせるってことなんじゃありませんの？
Well, maybe, but what about the gas? The gas accident that's not made by human hands, was it? That's what happened in all 3 chapters.
へえ、さとこにしちゃ本質ズバリじゃないのよ。確かに言えてる。
Say that again.
じゃあ、この暗い物語は、大石さんとおじ園崎さんのご機嫌を損ね
In
な
a
いよう
bad
です
mood.
が、みんな幸せになれるということなのかし
The
ら。
Sanazakis can be scary when they're pissed.
イエーイ、お姉バッドエンド要員。
Hey, big sis, you're near for the bad ending. Shut your fucking mouth, you conniving little...
みんな気をつけてね。
Yes, be careful for you. Be careful for you.
お姉の機嫌を損ねるとバッドエンド確定ですよ。
If you ever make Shion mad, it's a bad ending.
何よそれ。シオン、あんたには次は容赦なく痛い目見させてやるからね。泣いた謝ったって許して。
And cry and apologize.
待てこら。
I love the voice actress. I can't remember her name. I know she played Kagome in Inuyasha. She's so great, just Mion.
これまでの物語の謎は全然解けないけど、どうやったらこの物語が大団円で終わるかのエンドの推理はできちゃいましたね。
Don't give the Sanazaki sister dolls. Oh, she needs to stay in Okamiya and never come in the village. And Sadako's uncle should die in a 2-inch pond.
本当にそれで幸せになれるんでしょうか。
Well, those are the human happy endings. The volcanic gas. That's the act of natural disaster. Or a witch.
ミオンさんのお人形の件、本当にそれさえ気をつければいいんですかね。
そうそう。みんなは一つ大きな災害、ひなみ沢大災害という。
Hey, that's what I just mentioned.
天災は防ぎようがないですわよ。村のみんなにガスマスクを配って引っ越しでもしますの？あれはきっとお社様のたたりなのです。
You would know better than you,
お
Enrica.
社様を怒らせないようにしなければならないのですよ。
ややこしい話になってきました。つまり
You mustn't anger Oeshiro-sama.
お社様を怒らせないためにはどうすればいいのでしたっけ？
The dam project itself is probably out of the question. Yeah, that was 5 years ago.
ダム計画がそもそもなければよかったんじゃないでしょうか。
それは
That would be hard.
だとしたらお怒りになったお社様を鎮める儀式が必要ね。
Yeah, you would still do the Watanagashi, right?
鬼ヶ淵の沼に捧げ物を鎮めるあの儀式ですね。
The ritual sacrifice?
捧げ物って何をお社様に捧げるっていうんですか？
K-san.
そりゃあ決まってるでしょ。どんな分岐にも関係なく話の流れから脱落が確定。
Tomatake!
どうせ死ぬならひなみ沢のための人柱になってもらわなくちゃ。
ああ。その脱落が確定して。
Why you look at me like that?
やっぱり僕のこと。
やっぱり二郎さんはこの物語に欠かせない重要な役割の人だと信じてたわ。お役目を立派に果たし
You
て。
gotta play your part. You gotta play your part, Jiro. You gotta die. Sorry.
これで今度こそグッドエンドの大団円シナリオの青写真ができましたね。せっかくだからちょっと役者は全員揃ってることですしね。
Alright. First, we stop Uncle Hojo, whose lover ran out on him, from returning to Hinamizawa.
いやー、私が北条おじですよ。
He has no portrait, so I'm standing in. I'm so lonely and blue because my lover ran away. Go back to Hinamizawa. Lock up Satoko-chan. Now that's just you.
では、ひなみ沢にバイクで帰りますか。キーを入れてカチッ。
And click.
カチッ。
Alright, so you put a bomb under the bike? I approve. I definitely approve. That's what the best deserves. Judgment! To ashes and dust shall you return. I'm sorry, do you think did you just tell Satoko what she couldn't do? I hope Coach is alright. Next step, you stop Oshi from showing up.
今度は私ですか。私の名前はクラウド大石。
Kurado.
ジャジーでブルー
A hot, good-looking middle-aged man who looks like a blues singer. All due respect, sir, but middle-aged. You're being very generous there. You blew him up this time. Mion? Is it Mion? Eureka! Adjustment for you!
そして忘れちゃいけないのがお姉へのアフターフォロー。ささ、お姉、可愛らしいお人形さんですよ。よかったでちゅね。なんだか納得いかない。
He's like saying bad's gonna happen to me. Please don't blow me up. Please don't blow me up.
で、最後にお社様の怒りを鎮めなくちゃならない。
Alright, dive into the swamp.
では最後のお役目よろしくね。
Tie him up, wrap him up, and hang him. It'll sink for 3 days, right?
面倒くさいですから、ここは一気に行っちゃいましょう。
Let's just kill him, get it over with. What's that noise? Is it holding his head into the water? The case has been closed. The end. Oh, more bumps, bruises. What's happening?
なんでかな、突然レナの腕が光ってうなって大変なことに。
All of a sudden, this arm of mine is glowing with awesome power.
死死類類で大変なことになってますのです。
This pile of corpses is a pretty big deal. Oh, is that the man of the hour? Is it our boy?
電話だ。もしも、あ、ケイチくん。
Kichi-kun.
お疲れ様です。
おうおう、相変わらず大盛り上がりみたいじゃねえか。
Thanks for not inviting me again, you assholes.
こっちは次回の台本読みで相変わらず忙しいってのに。まあいいや。今日の俺は機嫌がいいから嫌味はなしにしてやるぜ。シオンはいるか？
Is she on there?
言っちまってもいいんじゃないか？あれ。
Let's put you on speaker.
今ここで発表しちゃうんですか？とはいえ、もうすでに分かってる人たちもいるでしょうけど。
Okay.
シオンさんとケイチさんの二人きりの秘密です。
Scandalous. What could it be?
何よそれ。
Aw, she's all jealous. Okay, okay, Kei-chan. Let's say it at the same time. Ni. What's it? I forgot my Japanese. Okay. Ichi, ni, san. The main character of the next story will be Shion Sonozaki.
まあ、つまりは
Yes,
そういうことです。
so that's it.
初登場以来、ダントツの人気ナンバーワン。姉妹キャラでも
The appearing younger sister of the twins being popular has been pattern.
ギャルゲー全盛時代から決められたお約束。
わけわかんねえことはどうでもいいよ。
I don't care about that.
とにかく俺はそのシナリオでは主人公のお役ごめん。
I've been fired from a main character post.
風の噂じゃ俺のボイスを超えてるとか。
Oh, Kei-chan's about to get a body. Finally, he's been a disembodied voice this entire time.
俺の苦労を少しは。
まあ、ケイちゃんのボイス数は異常ですから、他のシナリオに入れるようになれば、すぐに逆転さ
How
れるでしょう。
dare she? How dare she insult our boy?
まあ、園崎姉妹の実力ってやつをとくと皆さんにお見せして差し上げますよ。
I'm sure he can't compete with the cute girls. He just can't compete. I'm sorry, Keiichi. It's kind of true.
でもいいんですの、シオンさん。主人公は毎回ろくでもない最後を迎えると決まってましたよ。
まあ、これまではね。でもね、次回からは必ずしもそうはならないんですよね。
Oh, we will see, girl. We will see.
日暮らしの泣く頃にスイも今回のタタリゴミステリアスな謎を次々と提示してきた出題
The first half presented a lot of strange and exciting mysteries, but starting next time, the mysteries will start to be solved in the second half, marking the start of the investigation arc. Temporarily named.
つまり、私が名探偵になって理不尽な謎をバスバス解決していく痛快ストーリーなわ
I'm
けです。
sorry, miss, but your name isn't Erika Furuto. You're not the great
今のうちか
detective.
ら決め台詞を考えておかないとね。みたいな。
You, sir, are the criminal.
納得いかない、納得いかない。
御三家の秘密に近づきすぎて閉じ込められていたぶられて
Be imprisoned and tormented.
悲惨な最後を遂げる役
You're
に
gonna
決
shoot
ま
at
って
me
る
a violent and natural death.
お姉こそ私に全ての謎と秘密をカンパされて謝罪の言葉を口にしながら自害なされる心の準備は OK です。
What?
お社様のたたりの可能性はなしな
No
のですか？
chance Oyashiro's curse. No chance for Oyashiro-sama's curse for me, is there?
さて、そのしーちゃんが主役の目明かしに進むためには
Mekashi,
新しい
or
警察資料が必要
eye-opening,
です。
is currently undergoing diligent development.
初めからを選んでゲームを開始する
We already know this part.
鬼隠し、綿流し、
And
そして
Tatarigoroshi.
殺し、この3つのシナリオを
What
重ねるだけで
truths
皆
will
さんに
all
ど
come
んな
up
真
with?
実が見えてくるでしょうか。推理はまとまるどころか、ますます煙に巻かれて、レナも全然
Rena has no clue. It's okay, Rena. I know the truth. For all you warriors who never yielded these 3 mysteries and kept on fighting, we present you with one final scenario as thanks for your enthusiasm, one which we never originally planned on giving you. Please enjoy it. We got one more thing? One more special thing? What is it? Is it? Can the fade out not be so slow? I love fade outs myself, but why is it so slow? Oh, that's it? Okay, that's literally it. Alright. What's this? Alright. Okay, so I'm being too loud and it's kind of it's already late. It's late. I'm getting in trouble with my apartment people. Let's put that down to the side. And alright, thank you all for showing up tonight. This was really fun. Like I said, I gotta be really, really quiet. I'm getting in trouble. I'm gonna get kicked out of the house. Can't have that. I do need someplace to live. But thank you all for showing up. Thank you. Who are you? What's your name again? Small and Stunk TV. Thank you for the awesome raid. Thank you, Shy Shoda, for the follow. I really, really appreciate it. I thank you guys so much. It was so amazing. Tomorrow. Let me check. Alright, tomorrow we are doing the Miles Morales game again. We're gonna play that for a little bit. I'm not sure we're gonna do the story or some side missions, but probably do a lot of it because I want to try to finish the game before next week. Because next week is gonna be my rest week, mostly for editing. Because like I said at the beginning of the stream, October. We're gonna stream every day for the month of October. And I have some other videos to try to make. It's gonna be so tough on me, but I cannot wait. I hope everything goes off special. But let's see. I want to try raiding somebody. I haven't raided anybody in a long, long time. Let me see who's live real quick. Who do I know that's live? Oh, Pro Wolf 13. Okay, they're live. And I think they actually played Higurashi before. Let's get them going. Copy. Actually, are you even playing Higurashi right now? Or it's just me? It's just me. There's no one ever reading the story. That's fine. That makes it a little more special. I think. That's how that works, right? But yeah, I'm sending you their way. They're pretty awesome. So, thank you, everybody. I will see you all later. Have a great night, morning, or wherever you may be in the world. And I will see you all tomorrow. Catch you later. Bye-bye.